Good morning, everyone. For your attendance, we only have three students who are not present today. And who is the neighbor of these three? Is Gaiden. So what's the reason? Tribal conflict. Okay, so please include them to your prayers that they will be able to adjust to the situation that they are in. And inform them also that I'll be sending them their module through Gmail or Messenger for them to catch up with the topic and for them to do also all the activities. So for some reminders before we jump to our discussion, no cell phones are allowed unless the teacher said so. If you want to go out, ask permission from teacher. If there's an individual activity, mind your own papers. If there's a group work initiated and you want to transfer to another place, please carry chairs and move silently for us not to disturb other classes. So moving on, I'll be showing two pictures, and these two pictures will help us identify what is the topic that we'll be discussing today. So what is the picture trying to tell us? Or what is the picture all about? Yes, Mr. Bulai, about a rock or a soil. Okay, so what did you observe as you try to dig deeper a rock or a soil? Miss April. Okay, the rock or a soil becomes harder. So if the soil becomes harder and harder as you dig deeper, what generalization can you draw about that experience? Miss Gildan. The rocks or the soil have layers. So what is the other term for layer? Okay, yes, it's called stratum or strata. So it talks about the layers of a rock or a soil. How about this one? It's actually written there at the bottom of the picture. It's about the pyramid of capitalist system. So this is not actually new to you because you have already discussed this or learned this during your junior high school years in Araling Panlipunan. So what conclusion can you draw from these two pictures about the lives of the people? Yes, Mr. Salvador. So human beings are being stratified based on their status and wealth and prestige. Yes, that's true. And let us try also to know if our experiences tell us about our status and prestige. So I have 5 questions here, and I want you to answer it quietly, and after that you can share it in front of your classmates. When was the last time you feel or experience hunger due to lack of provisions, money, resources to buy off? Next one. What action did you take to satisfy your hunger? Did you ask for help from anyone to address this concern? Why or why not? Did anyone extend help? Is there anyone to blame for the difficult situation you experienced? Okay, so those are the 5 questions, and I want you to answer it for 3 minutes. After that, you can share it in front of your classmate. Your time starts now. Okay, time is over. Who wants to volunteer? Yes, Mr. Bawagan. Okay, so thank you so much for that. So sometimes our experiences in life will tell us who we are, or what is the situation that we are in. And from those sharing, we can say that Mr. Bawagan is experiencing something that we're not experiencing. So maybe if we try to go back to the pyramid of capitalist system, his experience can tell him that he is at the bottom of that pyramid. So let's just listen for a while, and this music is entitled Tatsulok by Bamboo.
Bilisan mo takbo, ilagan mga bombang nakatutok sa ulo mo. Toto'y tumalong ka, tumapa kung kailangan, at baka tamaan pa ng mga balang ligaw. Toto'y makinig ka, huwag kang magpagabi, baka pagkamalangkat humandusay dyan sa tabi. Toto'y alam mo ba kung ano ang punot dulo nang di matapos-tapos ng kaguluhan ito? Hindi pula't dilaw, tunay na magkalaban, ang kulay at tatak ay di siyang dahilan. Hanggat marami ang lubog sa kahirapan, at ang hustisya ay para lang sa mayaman. Habang may tatsulok at sila ang nasa tuktok, di matatapos itong gulo. Iniligtas ang hininga ng kairaming mga tao, at ang dating munting bukid na yun sementeryo. Toto'y kumilos ka, baliktarin ang tatsulok, tulad ng dukha na ilagay mo tuktok. Hindi pula't dilaw, tunay na magkalaban, ang kulay at tatak ay di siyang dahilan. Hanggat marami ang lugmok sa kahirapan, at ang hustisya ay para lang sa mayaman. Habang may tatsulok at sila ang nasa tuktok, di matatapos itong gulo. matatapos itong gulo.
Okay, so what is the song trying to imply? Or just in one word, what is the song is trying to tell us? Yes, about inequality. What else? Social injustices. What else? Slavery. What else? What else? Yes, stratification. Yeah. So, do you think the message of the song evident here in the Philippines? Yes, that's correct. Because we can say that that the distribution of goods and services are not equal, and we are still being controlled by those who have the prestige and power and who are in the position, and we are from the bottom or the lower class who don't have any power or cannot do something about it. Okay, so just based on the activities or the pictures, the topic that we'll be discussing today is about, okay, social certification. So what is social certification? So according to some authors, it is a society's categorization of people into socio-economic strata based on their occupation and income, wealth and social status, or derived power, social and political. In other words, stratification is a relative social position of persons within a social group, category, geographic region, or social unit. So it's about categorization based on wealth and status. So if you have this status, you can actually mingle to other people who have the same status with you. But if you're in the if you do not have any prestige, you're not actually allowed to talk with someone who is higher than you, or you're not you cannot be included in their circle or in their group. Social stratification is actually different from differentiation. When you say differentiation, the method of relating people in terms of certain social characteristics and then classifying them into social categories based on these characteristics. So differentiation does not involve ranking these categories. So that is their differences. And social stratification is distinguished as three social classes. So we have the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class. So when you say the upper class consists of the elite families who are the most prolific and successful in their respective areas. So example, maybe stockholders, investors who live in an exclusive neighborhood. They own many houses, mingle with the same class, and value heritage most over wealth. About the middle class, mostly professional people like lawyers, doctors, managers, owners of small businesses, executives, etc. And we have the lower class. These are the office and clerical workers, skilled and unskilled craftsmen, farm employees, underemployed, and indigent families. They live in smaller houses. They are short of revenue, education or trainings, acquaintances, and communication. They depend on their paycheck. Okay, so those are the three classes distinguished in social stratification. So we have the upper class, middle class, and we have the lower class. So you have actually three or two theoretical perspectives on social stratification, and they examine if this social stratification is good or bad. So first, theoretical perspectives on social stratification is functionalism. So when we say functionalism, they examine social stratification or this different society exists because of a good reason or a purpose. Let's say, for example, in the school, we have our principals, our heads, our masters, and the teachers. So they have a different position because they serve a good purpose, or there is a reason why they have different positions. So the principal will oversee what is the best for his teachers. Will oversee what is good for the school, and we have also the head teachers. We have the master teachers who will help the other teachers to become effective and efficient in teaching. That's why every year they are conducting observations or demonstrations for them to check if you are evolving to become efficient and effective teachers. Next, we have the conflict perspective from the picture alone. Social stratification creates conflict between two classes. Actually, in Germany, we have this Karl Marx, a philosopher, is actually the father of this conflict perspective. So in Germany, there is a conflict between bourgeoisie and the proletariats. So the proletariats are the workers, and the bourgeoisie or burghs are the owners. So there's a conflict because burghs are paying the proletariats a lower wage, and this is actually evident not only in Germany but all over the world, because people are just focusing on the wealth or prestige or the position that they can take, and the distribution of wealth, the services are not equal actually. And we already seen that here in the Philippines when Leyte was struck by a typhoon, and the services or donations coming from NGOs or other organizations, they were actually distributed equally. Some other politicians just pocket some other donations and use it for personal. Okay, so those are the two perspectives that examines how social certification uh, happens or why it exists in the first place. So any question? Okay, none. So let's move on to your activities. Okay, so I'll be giving you 5 minutes. I think that is enough for you to do this activity. Compare the social classes and social stratification using the Venn diagram. Give examples each. Okay, time's up. Any volunteer to share? Yes, Miss Tiknag. Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Salvador. Okay, thank you. About Mr. Blanco. Okay, thank you so much. Then, for individual work, I want you to write this on a sheet of paper and pass it after 5 minutes. 5 minutes can do. During this pandemic, how has your status in life become a factor in the acquisition of services and benefits from the government? Based on your sexuality, how can you motivate everyone to voice out their platforms against inequality? If in any case, since stratification excuses no one, how will it challenge you to become successful in life? Your time starts now, and pass it after 5 minutes. Okay, time is up. So, if you can see, these questions are not actually new to us. And during this pandemic, our status become factor in the acquisition of services and benefits from the government. So, whoever those who are malapit sa mga may kapangyarihan, they are the one who gets the services and benefits from the government. And basing on our sexuality or gender is not a reason for us not to voice out our platforms against inequality. So, sabi nga ng Bible, we were created equally. So, we can voice out our platforms even if you are male or female. So, regardless of our gender. So, certification excuses no one. So, it will challenge us actually to become successful in life because from this uh, situation that we're in, it will makes us more stronger to become successful and want to change whatever social injustices or inequality that we are facing right now. Okay, so for your summative assessment, I will just um, give the questions, or but please don't write any on that paper. Okay, so you only have actually 10 questions here, and you can submit that after 3 minutes. Okay, time's up. So please exchange your papers with your classmate. Okay, so let's check your paper. So number one is, yes, Mr. Bawan. Okay, social stratification. But number two, okay, lower class. Number three, differentiation. Number four, example for upper class. You have, yes, investors. What else? Okay, stockholders. What else? Or maybe president. Mhm. And lastly, number 5, okay, the middle class. So who got the highest score? So it seems that all of you got a high score. Okay, so for your additional activity, instruction on the 1/2 sheet of paper, answer the question that follows. What are your criticisms on the 3 perspectives? Put your answers in a tabular form. So maybe you can just pass this next meeting because we don't have actually time. Okay, so we'll be meeting same time. Okay, so next meeting, that is 3 to 4. Okay, so you put that on a 1/2 sheet of paper. Make sure that you put your answers in a tabular form. So what are just your criticisms on the 3 perspectives? Maybe it is positive criticisms or negative criticisms. Okay, any question? Okay, 9. Again, I want you to inform those who are absent that I'll be sending them their module, you know, maybe through Messenger or their Gmail. Okay, so thank you and God bless.